And let's get it.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
That's not the right one. Let's go.
We are the creators of the Stu Beat Showcase, and we bring to you
the Beat Club podcast,
where producers are heard.
The best place to hear new beat makers from around the globe.
Here we keep it real about the music.
Keep these beats, but we cut them simple and plain. The help of our special guests and listeners worldwide.
If you wish to join our Beat Club Podcast community, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Beat Club Podcast.
And join our private producer group on Facebook by searching the
Stu:*Beat Club.
What up, world? How's everybody doing today? I'm your boy D Loops, aka Do It All Loops, here with my boy
Avy. What's good?
Popping, y'all. Motivate Mariners on the way as usual, man. We are the creators of the Stu Beat Showcase, and we bring to you the Beat Club podcast where producers are heard. On top of that, man, we want to give a big round of applause. We got a special guest in the room, man. Can we clap at one time? Jay Hatch is in the building.
What up?
Yeah. It's a beautiful Sunday out here, man. Matter of fact, it's super fucking hot. I'm just keep it real, but it's beautiful nonetheless, man. Hopefully it's good wherever you guys are at, and hopefully you're staying cool. AV, you got the AC bumping over there?
Nah, I got a fan though. That's all I could do in this little room, man. I ain't got no room for AC.
Hey, it is what it is, man. It's good to have fans. I got my shit on blast right now too. So it is what it is, man. Jay Hatch, man, how you doing, bro?
I'm wonderful, man. It's a Sunday. We alive. We breathing. Things are good, man. Can't complain at all.
Where you at right now?
I'm in the BX, man. You know, Bronx. I'm also in a small room with a little fan, so my AC's bumping the rest of the house. But back here, they don't really get so much oscillation. You know what I mean? So we just out here, man.
Yo, why is that the case? Like the whole crib got AC, but I'm the only one here with a fan right now. You know what I mean? So
the office gets neglected. It's disrespectful, but I got to do better for myself.
Yeah. So if you see anybody that's watching on YouTube and Facebook, if you see any of us sweating, just know we're not nervous or anything like that. It's just hot as hell where we're at. So, you know, man, just it is what it is, man. But shout out to all the producers. Thank you guys for tuning in on Facebook and YouTube. AV, man, I also want to check in with you just to see what you've been up to, man. I mean, I know I seen you the other day, but what's new? What's popping?
I've really been chilling, man. But shit, I was just at Jay's event out at Surefire Creative Sessions, man.
What was that?
What'd you say?
So what was that? You said creative sessions?
Yeah. So basically what he does, he has a bunch of, producers and songwriters, artists come together and they just create. They create for like 10 hours, man. But I'm going to save the rest for him to tell you about it. Shit was real dope.
Jay, man, can you elaborate on that? Yeah, no doubt. So for like the last year or so, year and a half maybe, started this new event/brand called Creative Sessions. It was formerly called Collab Labs, but I changed it to kind of fit into more of what I'm doing right now. So, what it is we vet anywhere between 15 to 30 creators, whether they be songwriters, producers. They come in, they press play, we pair them up into teams, and then when they're ready to cut hooks, we just put them in the room. And it's basically for, I've been in the game for a long time. I have people reaching out to me all the time who need beats, whether it be label, artists, managers, publishers, directly. And we've amassed over 1,200 records in the last year by doing these creative sessions in various cities. So since Boston and the Lowell area is not as on fire as the rest of the world when it comes to, the COVID situation, I decided to pull the trigger and do it. And all the creators were super happy because they were ready to get out of the house and be creative. We did everything super safe, masks, distancing, wipes, sanitizer, sprays, the whole nine. And it was dope, man, because I've always come up to Boston to do like, my istandard events back in the day.
Yeah.
But I've never been like, hands-on with producers in the studio like that in Boston. And I mean, AV, you guys already know because you had this platform, but there's so much talent up there, bro. Like, so much talent. Even writers. I wasn't even aware of some of these cats, man. There were some serious writers.
How did you select your writers, by the way? There's some trash writers out here, too. I'm just going to put it out there. We got some hot.
trash writers everywhere. But it was more or less just referral-wise and a few people that I had just kind of on my radar. Because we normally do songwriting events, too, around the country. We did, and we had a pool like in some of the bigger cities. L.A., New York, Miami, Atlanta, Dallas even, Philly. But Boston, we just kind of really just had this producer community and not the songwriter side of things. So a lot of the producers were putting me on to different writers. You know what I'm saying? But it was a good turnout. We had some rap singing, kind of writers. Then we had some pop and R&B, and then we had some straight rap dudes. So it worked out. It was a good balance. We had a couple of really good records that I feel can go once the mixes are right.
And do you have like a certain quota in mind when you do an event like that? Like, look, we're looking for we're leaving here with 50 beats and hooks today. Like,
generally, if we do like a 25-person session, we have 3 rooms going and a lounge area, and the 3 rooms are rocking for at least 9 or 10 hours. We walk out of there with at least 35, 40 hooks. And plus, like I'm like Diddy, man, going into each room, throw my little 2 cents in, drop this, verify that, lo-fi this. You know what I'm saying? Like high note here, low pass here. I know a little something about that. Nice. So but we also have a target in terms of who we're trying to shop for. So I let everybody know in advance. There's people like Cardi B or Meek or Wale, and there are people at 50. They'll reach out to me for records. And then I'll just take that mindset going here and say, okay, these are the people that we're targeting, but also I don't want to stunt your creativity by saying this is all we're looking for. Because if an idea is good, you know what I'm saying, we're going to run with it. So, luckily over the years, I've been able to place records with a lot of, major artists in film and TV. And this is kind of a way to kind of cut out a lot of the red tape and, deal with these people directly. We have a specific split that we do. There's some ownership in regards to me and what I bring to the table and how much my relationships are, how valuable they are. So it's a really fun time, and I appreciate AB was actually out there working with Rush Hour, and he shot the whole shit for me, got some real intimate interviews as well, and he captured exactly what this is all about. We're going to drop the video tomorrow on socials, so we're going to tag y'all. Y'all be able to see it, and hopefully you guys can share it as well.
Yeah, we got to clap it up for AB, man. Putting in that work, bro.
So I give some pizza, some snacks, you know what I'm saying? You get his thing.
Yeah, I get food, I'm good.
We'll work for food.
Nah, that is what it is, man. I was gonna ask you when it comes to like the hooks and such, like, okay, you got this number of beats and hooks that you got. Out of that, roughly how many do you tend to get placed? Like, is it a 50%?
Well, the placement side of it is always a challenge because that's really about timing. There's so many variables involved. I would hope to at least get, if I did 30 hooks, I would hope to at least have 15 to 20% of those hooks, pass the test per se. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a quality test first and foremost. Yeah. And then I'll take those records and I'll send out batches and I'll go to sessions if I have to. And we've actually have about 12 different records on hold right now from major labels, and about 3 or 4 from film and TV agencies as well. For the last like 3 or 4 months since the pandemic started, because I had done some at the top of the year, and then all of a sudden, March came around and it was like everything had to be shut down. So we're kind of getting back into the swing of things now. I had one in Boston. I had 2 in New York last week. I have one in Chicago this Friday, Saturday. I'm going up there. Then I have 2 more in New York, and we're doing Boston again August 29th. So we're even talking about maybe you guys coming up and doing like a live, podcast right from the sessions. It might be dope. You know what I'm saying?
Let's do that.
Your producers involved too. So we'll talk about that on a separate note.
All right, that's dope, fam. That's dope. Well, one thing I will say, man, is we all are very much familiar with beats. We've been listening to beats for a very long time. All of us here in this room. So I just want to say to all the producers that send in beats today, that sent in beats that we're going to be playing today, you're probably going to get some real ass feedback. And I would just say, don't get in your feelings, get in your bag. You know what I mean? Just I hope you send fire today because we know what the fuck we're talking about. But question, does anybody have anything else that they want to say before we get into these beats?
No.
All right, cool. So we're going to get into it right now. Let's see what's good.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
All right, so check it out. What we do each and every Sunday at the Beat Club Podcast is we have a place called the beatclubpodcast.com where producers can go and upload as many fire beats as possible. That's right, as many fire beats as possible. We take some of these beats and we place them in a folder and play them for the first time ever on our show. We give our feedback along with our Beat Club Podcast community and decide if we're going to keep or cut these beats. And you can join the discussion right now by watching us on Facebook and YouTube Live and voicing your opinion. So just know it's completely raw. Put it out there. Let us know your feedback. If you just want to say keep it or cut it, add anything else extra, it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's constructive criticism, and we're just trying to make fire, more and more fire out of it. So artificial AV, bros, I'm working on this shit. It's like 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you switch up your name, it's gonna take me like a month to get it right.
I ain't switched my name. My name was always AV. You added that shit.
You're right. AV. Who's first on the chopping block, bro?
All right. So first up, we got Manny Beach Shaw, and this is Life of Kings.
All right. We'll take a listen right now on the B Club podcast. Keep it, cut it. Let's get it. Let's go.
The Beat Club. The Beat Club.
All right, B Club, let's talk about this one sent there, man. Let us know in the comments. Do you keep it? Do you cut it? I'm going to go around the room and see what's good. AV, what's the word, bro?
Shit is too fire, bro.
It's too
Everything
fire?
was dope. Yeah, too fire. Everything was dope, man. Everything about it.
All right. So it sounds like you're going to keep it.
Yep.
All right. J Hatch, what's the word?
We definitely gonna keep it, man. That was fire. A lot of room for a writer, a lot of room for an artist to get busy on there. Snare was popping. Great melody. You know what I'm saying? It kind of fits what's going on right now. I would just say, to the producer, challenge yourself a little bit to kind of figure out what's next sound wise. But I mean, that's easy. That's Gunna. That's everybody right now. That's a big record.
So let me see. People online, we got the fire. They're keeping it, man. It just sounds like it's gonna be a keep it. That's easy. That's how you're supposed to start the fucking show. Let's go to another beat, AV.
All right. Let me see. Next up, we got The Fingers. This might be a newbie. And this is called. Oh yeah. Okay. Right. And this is called Cloudy Thoughts.
And then from Virginia.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh shit. All right, cool. Let's take a listen right now to the B Club podcast. Keep it or cut it. Let's get it. Let's go.
The fingers on the
The Beat Club. The Beat Club.
All right, B Club, let's talk about this one. You guys let us know how you feel in the comments on YouTube and Facebook. I'm gonna go around the room and see what's good. AV, man, what's the word on this one, bro?
I'm gonna keep it. But my only feedback is on like some of the drum sounds. I probably would have changed them up a little bit. They just sounded a little stock to me, but the beat's still dope overall. So I'm gonna keep it still.
All right, J Hatch, what's the word?
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think that this could have been some better drum sounds, and also maybe just a little bit of different sequencing going into the hook, because you need a little bit of a build up. The chord progressions were dope though, and the sound selections were dope. I really like that, almost like that finger snap, clap snare, whatever that is. That was the only part of the drum I really like. But it's fire, man. The fingers, I think he plays also too, like musicians. So I
Yeah,
wouldn't be surprised if some of that stuff was like live played too in there.
yeah.
I'd never keep it.
All right, cool. So that's 2 keep it's. People online are saying keep. I'm kind of on the fence with this one. I thought it was cool. The percussion didn't really win me over too much. It was a vibe. I did like this part that's playing right now. I wish like that was like elevated a little bit more above the mix so I could hear a little bit more. But for the most part, it was cool. But if I'm on the fence, I'm gonna cut it. But you guys know if it's majority vote, it's Loops Island. It's gonna be kept anyways. Let that one slide by. That's 2 for 2, man. Let's get another one in there, bruh.
Might be 3 for 3. Next up, we got Smart Boy Beats with Lies.
All right, all the way from North Carolina. We're gonna take a listen to it right now on the Beat Club podcast. Keep it, cut it. Let's get it. Let's go.
The Beat Club. The Beat Club. The Beat Club.
All right, Beat Club, let's talk about this one. You guys let us know how you feel in the comments. Would you keep it? Would you cut it? Avy, man, what's the word on this one, bro?
I'm gonna keep this one too. This wasn't like my favorite Smart Boy beat, but I mean he executes all the time, so it's key.
You nice today, bro. You real nice today. I'm gonna go to J Hatch. J Hatch, what's the word?
Hey, it's heat.
I mean, I've known Smart Boy Beats for probably like 8 years right now. He's fire. I agree too. I think the beat maybe isn't the best choice for beat wise, but again, I look at things from a creative standpoint. Melody, can a writer write to it? The melody was super strong to me. It was hypnotic. After a while, I just started kind of. The only thing that I would tell him is maybe just building up into the hook again and trying not to make it so linear because it was very like, it stayed kind of like it didn't have any peaks and waves. Not every song has to have that either, but I'm gonna keep it. I feel like that record would be special if somebody's writing on it or rapping on it right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. To echo that, I feel as though I probably would really love the track if I heard an artist on it. So there's enough room there for an artist to do their thing. I think because an artist is missing, it makes me a little more judgmental. I'm just like, and I like the word you use, linear, because that's how it felt. So that had me on the fence, but this is why I let my people talk first. So I'm going to keep it as well, man. Just want to throw it out there. Here we go.
3 for 3. Let's get it.
J
3 for 3, and I got a drink.
Big shot. What up? Technology. What up? See y'all, man.
So let me ask you this. Do you like, I know you've met a shit ton of producers. Do you now kind of have an idea of what a producer is going to bring to the table the next time you see them? And then also, do you kind of hold them up to that bar they set previously?
Yeah, you know what it is, man. It really just it comes down to like growth and development. You know what I'm saying? Like I see so many producers, and I've been privileged and blessed enough to see a lot of them, continue to get better. Because when they come to the events, they, since they're investing in themselves, they're listening, they're paying attention, so they want to get better. Like people like my man D-Dot, who's on the call right now. He came to shows, didn't really win much, and all of a sudden he started like really diving in, focusing on investing, traveling, coming to panel seminars, beat camps. Next thing you know, he's starting to win sample contests, and he's winning track lib contests, and he won my year-end contest, and he won my long-run contest. And then I just connected him with Tracklib, which is a company that I consult about having his own collection on Tracklib. So now he's going to be sampled just like Isaac Hayes would or whoever else would, and he'll be involved in those splits too. So it's about growth and development, man. Like luckily I have a capacity. So I know names. Can't always remember who the person is when I see them. Yeah. But they're like, oh yeah, I did your show back in Indianapolis back in 2007. I'm, such and such beats, and I'm like, oh shit, okay, yeah, all right, I remember you. What's good, and I usually have a an idea unless I was drunk that night. But we'll see.
That's
happened too. That's happened too. Look.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: in your opinion, what is the most common mistake made by upcoming producers when they come out to you to the events?
Oh, that's easy. I think the most common mistake is that people just emulate what's going on right now on the radio. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we've been in this trap bubble now for like about 7 years, and it's not that a producer could play a dope beat, and I'm like, yo, that shit is dope, but I can call Metro Boomin for that beat. I can call so-and-so for that beat. I need something that might sound competitive, but what makes that beat you? So that's why I really fuck with Cardo, Cardiac. Like I've known these guys for years. Illmind. Like they'll take what might be popular sounding, but they'll elevate it to like 2022. You know what I'm saying? So I think part of the problem is that people don't know the process. So they don't realize what you hear on the radio was placed like maybe a year or two ago. So now it's really like just caught up. When we place a record today, it might not come out for another year or two based on the politics of music and the process of music. So I need to hear something that might sound popular then. You know what I'm saying? So creatives have to be a little more forward thinking. And I think it really comes down to sound selection, sonics, and really finding a way to make their music theirs as opposed to just following, the curve. Because you could play me 5 random, big name rapper, trap rapper beats. And these days I can't tell you who it is. I could have told you 10 years ago who it was. Now it's very difficult. I mean, not for me, but I think for the average person, it's difficult. You know what I'm saying?
So when you let's say when you're in the business of pitching a record, is it something where you hear it and you're like, I hear Meek on this, even though it doesn't sound like a typical Meek record? Is that kind of you just playing the producer role and be like, I can place this. This makes sense. This sounds like future Meek. Is that
really because of what the concept or the idea is behind the record. Like, you got to know and pay attention. You obviously got to do the Billboard thing and you got to read, different articles and be perceptive to the music. But if you know a Meek and you've been paying attention, and we have the cheat code with social media now, and these people are always in the news. Like Meek is growing up. Meek is into police reform. He has a new kid. He's like Meek's not Meek on the corner anymore like he was back in 2007, 8. You know what I'm saying? So like his boys might be, but maybe he's telling a different story about that. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to have an idea. And I don't really listen to just beats anymore. Like when people send me beat packs, I gotta either send them out to writers if I fuck with them, or I gotta just shoot them down and say, send me back some hooks. Just because like that part of the game has changed since people are looking for records now. They don't have the time to just record 100 records anymore. People want shit like this. Yeah. The social media days, like, you're living in this little box and all of a sudden somebody else comes in behind you, they forget about you. And then when that person leaves, somebody else comes in, they forget about you. So you just have to have some standout shit. And that's why I'm glad you guys do stuff like this, because this is just an important platform for people to get real talk feedback, also allow their peers to give their 2 cents. But at the end of the day, it's all done for the proposal of getting better music to the world. You know what I'm saying? So I salute you guys, man.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that very, very, very much, man. I'm gonna steal half that shit and like type it out and just use it in like our bio and see what's good. I also want to know, I mean, what was your relationship with music like before you co-founded istandard?
Man, you want me to dig deep in my bag, huh?
Did you like? Were you a beat maker? Were you a producer? Did you spit?
I was a rapper, dog. I used to actually be managed by Slick Rick's DJ Vance Wright. Back, like I'm gonna tell you my age. And don't look it because I got the beard dying today. But I'm gonna be 48 years old in November. You know what I mean? So I'm getting up there. But I'm
young.
Yeah, man. But, I've been around. Yeah.
Still look young, bro.
Appreciate it, man. Mm-hmm. So, I used to run around with a lot of people back in the Nerd Shell days, like when hip hop was coming up, like P Rock, CL Smooth, Grand Puba, Sadat X. Like, I was in the studio with those guys. I was in ciphers with those guys. You know what I'm saying? So I showed up to my studio one day and there was a pink slip on the door and it said closed till further notice. And this is like pre-social media, pre-cell phones, pre-everything. We're talking about like 25 years ago. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I didn't have closure on that situation for almost 10 years. Couldn't contact my manager. He dipped to Atlanta, had a kid. I was forced to go back to work. I was working 3 jobs, but I had to get a full-time job. And then one day I just, I was working at Aeropostale and I was managing like 18 stores and I was making a shit ton of money. I was positioned very well within the company, but music always called me back. Like my friends that I was involved with prior were always like, yo, Hatch, man, like it's different now. Like we need more business people in the game than just people that create. So one day, unfortunately my father had passed away and I woke up and I was like, man, I don't love doing this shit no more. Like I don't love making money for other people. I don't love not living my dream. I don't love not following my personal destiny. So luckily, February of next year, 2021, will be 20 years I'm self-employed in the music industry.
That's not a number everybody can say.
Right.
That's the short story. Now the plug is you can go buy my book, How I Left My Job, Made It in the Music Industry. It's on all platforms, Target, Barnes and Noble, Book Baby, etc. And it tells really the entire story of how I got to where I'm at and how Biggie ruined my rap career. And that's you got to read the book for that one.
Wait. You said who?
I can't give you that gem for free.
Did you say Biggie?
Biggie.
Yeah. Exactly. Sure.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't personally do it. It's an indirect situation that's gonna sound crazy when people read it. So, if you read the book, put it in the comments. If you read the book, and I'll tell the story. You gotta give me a couple of like highlights and let me know you actually read the story.
Shit. Wait, let me ask you this. I mean, I've read stories of very successful people that just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna leave my job and just fucking take this leap of faith and make this shit happen. How scared were you when that happened? Because you just left the bag for the happiness. That's what it sounds like. And that's scary.
Man, it's scary because there's no like real checklist for success when it comes to starting your own business, especially in the music industry. Like I had all these amazing, skill sets and I was organized and I planned. I'm a great communicator. I'm able to like just be prepared and organized. I used to run all the major conferences and open all the higher volume stores for the company. Plus I managed 18 stores. And I would go hire regional managers. I would go hire store district managers. So they trusted me with a lot of those things. So I gained all these skill sets. And I said, how could I apply those into, making my own business? Mm-hmm. So little by little, I learned. I was naive at first. I spent a lot of money. I had a little stock option from the company when I left, and I learned really hard and quick how money and music and success don't equate in the music industry. It's really about relationships. It's about being a step or two ahead of the game. It's about realizing when you're absorbing things from you're observing other people and how they don't do business right. You have to then take those opportunities and figure out how to make them your strength. So that's why that's why I started doing showcases, because people would do these whack ass showcases. The sound sucked. The judges were never there. They didn't know when they were going on. They'd say so and so to be there. That person would never be there. So then I would, come in and be like, damn, like I could do this shit. I was doing this shit when I was working at the clothing company. I was putting on all the conferences. So you know what? I'm going to get these judges and they're going to come out because I'm going to treat them like royalty. I'm going to get the highest quality producers. I'm going to vet these producers. I'm just putting everybody on stage. Mm-hmm. It's not about $1. You know what I'm saying? And in our very first show at istandard at the time, we had 400 people crammed in a little ass remote lounge on Bowery Street in New York. And I had Buck Wild, Lenny S, and Easy Mo B as my first 3 judges ever. And then I had a Rockweiler in the house, and I had fucking Fat Man Scoop in the house. Just relationships from the other guys that brought him in. I had Bonsu, who was the editor-in-chief of Double XL at the time. And these people just looked at us like we just invented fire. Because there was only Dynamic Producer. And they were more about like, and also Speed Society. So at the time, it was very like more entertainment driven than it was about presentation and education. Mm-hmm. And we wanted to come in and give these kids an opportunity to take this skill that they were using in their basement or their room or their little studio and take it to a platform where they could be seen and heard by people that can hopefully eventually help them. And we've been blessed to have people like S1 and Cardiac and Buddha and Grands and Black Metaphor and Mechanics and all these guys that are now producing some of the biggest records on radio come through the istandard movement and take a bit of what they learned and build relationships and just get better. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it's all about. Never wanted to build a platform where we took away anything from the culture. We just wanted to push it forward, and make sure that people understand it is a business. When you make a beat, that's your product. you know, and then how could you stand out from the masses of people that are doing the same thing? And you know, I don't know if you want me to keep rambling on, but I got this thing I talk about called the soda aisle. Whenever I do like my like motivational speaking and one-on-ones, it's like, you know, as creators, we can go into like a you know, we're like on a soda aisle, right? So you go to like Walmart or Publix or Target, right? You got Pepsi on one side, right? You got Coke on the other. Those guys spend billions of dollars a year to be in that focal space in every store. You know, they'll be in your little ass bodega. They'll be in the biggest store in the world. They'll be at Disney World. They'll be, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So what about the other sodas on that aisle, right? Mm-hmm. You got RC Cola. You got Bodega Cola. You got flavored water cola. You got, you know, all these different things. First of all, how did they get there? Mm-hmm. And number two, how do you compete with Pepsi and Cola? Pepsi and Coke. Mm-hmm. So maybe one day AV says to me while we're in Boston, yo, Hatch, you should try this soda, bro. This is some new Boston shit. I'm telling you, you're going to fucking love it. And AV's my man. So I'm like, oh, yeah, fuck it. Let me try it out. Let me see what it's all about. Mm-hmm. Or I might just walk by and be like, yo, this design is crazy. Like, what is this? I'm going to fucking buy this can of soda. Or I might just be in a hurry and be like, yeah, let me go. That's who we are as creators. You got Timberland, Coke and Pepsi. You got Pharrell, Coke and Pepsi. You got Scott Storch, Murder B. All these guys have put in tens of thousands of work hours that had budgets, that built relationships, that might have had a team around them, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody else is on this fucking soda aisle because they don't have that yet. But they're there, right? You're on the aisle. You have a chance. Now what are you going to do to work your ass off enough to eventually get close to a space where you could be in competition with the greats or mentioned with the greats or co-signed by more people? That's just something I always talk about. And I feel like that really relates to creators because we can be super successful by just being on the shelf, right? Mm-hmm. Your dependency on who you are, consistency, confidence, level of learning, level of just complicity with yourself about who you are and when you are that person that can hopefully get you better. Because if you're somebody who's just happy with placing a couple records and you're like, all right, I'm cool, I'm good, I'm making a little living, that's cool. If you're happy in that space, stay in that space. But that might end someday. And when it does, what else the fuck you gonna do?
Facts.
So that's just my little three little cents.
We're gonna throw this out there as well. I didn't want to cut you off, bro. Yo, so what we're gonna do? We gotta get back into some beats.
Let's
so
do
you
it.
see what happened? You see, we got like 3 in a row, then we got mad gems. So this is what happens. We gotta keep this shit going.
He tried to throw us off so we can cut one, man. I already know this guy. I know what Luke's is all about, man. I see the structure.
Let's go. AV man, who's next, bro?
Next up, we got Tony Choppa.
The fucking name is A1. What?
Love that shit. Tony Choppa.
Such a trip. God damn, I cannot speak right now.
This is why you read and I just do art because I can't pronounce that shit.
I can't pronounce it either. I ain't even gonna hold you.
Satirically speaking, you know what? Next time you make a beat and you title it 2 to 3 syllables, bro. That's 4 syllables. That's over what I'm capable of doing. But thank you for sending the beat. We're gonna take a listen to it right now on the Beat Club podcast. Keep it, cut it. Let's get it. Let's go.
The Beat Club. The Beat Club. The Beat Club. The Beat Club.
All right, Beat Club, let's talk about this one. You guys let us know how you feel in the comments on YouTube and Facebook. Would you keep it? Would you cut it? I'm going to go with AV, man. What's the word, bro?
Shit, I was vibing. that shit just took me somewhere. Easy keep it. My only feedback would be I don't know what sound that was clicking in the background. Just take that out. Perfect beat, bro. Take that shit out.
Yo, that's so Benny the Butcher right there, bro. Like I can hear Griselda all over that because it's, sometimes you don't need all the dressing on it. You know what I'm saying? Like if like AB just said, it was a vibe for him. Like I would just, the minute I heard that horn come in, that little horn section sample, if that was a sample or not, I'm not sure. But that shit just I hear bars. I hear Benny just coming in. I hear Conway. With that high ass voice, I hear all that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just, that's definitely a keeper for me, man. Only thing I would give, again, I definitely agree with AV, but I would say somewhere within those 8 bars, do some sort of drastic, like some sort of drop or something that just resets people's mind and come back to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because after a while, people might get a little, that's a little repetitive if they're just listening to it. Come with something drastic, like maybe a triple drum, fucking whatever, something different. You know what I'm saying? But I fuck with it, man. It's definitely Griselda.
Mm-hmm.
I seen someone's comment. I'm gonna agree with Marcus, man. Definitely. Wait, was that the voice? Was that the voice? Did you hear the yo?
Yeah.
Oh, that was you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's fucking Griselda all day.
Yo, I'm gonna say I love the jazziness of this. I love it. I think that little addition, that little like top line or whatever, just did something for me. So I'm gonna keep it. Nothing bad to say about it. You guys already picked on the clicking noise and such. Yeah, fire, bro. So
I'm still bopping my damn head.
I didn't want to say too much because I was trying to listen to it more. But but you know what? Let's comment on something because we had a conversation before we started the live that J Hatch is actually looking to give a slot away to something.
Yep.
Right? Can you elaborate on that just so the producers are aware?
Yeah, no doubt. So back in May, obviously with the lack of opportunities to do things outside, I had to kind of adjust my brand to play more towards or motivate and inspire creatives online. So I started this thing called the Long Run. It's a 7-hour producer marathon, and basically we play 3 beats from each producer. There's like 70 producers. It goes on a course of the entire day. And then the top 2 from every hour gets sent to a private room at 8 o'clock with a major label A&R that will give them feedback, more constructive criticism, a little more private. And then that winner gets a pair of Cali Audio LP8s, which is about a $500 value, along with an MVBT Bluetooth controller, which can make any speaker Bluetooth. There's also a write-up with allhiphop.com. You get a free year with tracklib.com. And then I also fly them to LA, take care of all their expenses, hotel, Ubers, flight. And then we put them in the studio a couple nights that week when I'm in there with writers and producers so they can collaborate as well. So every hour they get judged by let's say from 2 to 3, those 10 producers will get judged by one major label, like major producer. So we have Needles judging. Needles is a Grammy-winning major producer. We got Swift D. I'm not sure who else is on the list. We got a couple writers as well. Mayala, she's written for Tinashe, Chris Brown, Ty Dolla $ign. So this one it's called the Hooks Only Edition. So it's going to be 3 beats with hooks. So you can either be a writer or a producer that works with a writer or producer to make these hooks. So yeah, if you want more information about it, you can follow me at Mogulstatus. All the information is on a couple of my last posts, and I'll be posting some more this week as well. The next one is August 29th. No, August 23rd. I'm sorry. 29th is Boston Creative Sessions. Yeah. So let's go. I appreciate it, Renee. Thank you. I am going to be 48. Word.
I'm glad you've seen that.
But if you do want to get down with the event, regardless if you're in the podcast or not, or part of the Keep It or Cut It, you can just email me at vlongrunevents@gmail.com. Send in one beat with a hook, and you'll hear from my A&R, and hope we can get you guys involved in the show.
All right. Bomb. Opportunities on top of opportunities, man. It's a beautiful thing. Let's get back into these beats. So I just want to drop that there just so people know what the fuck is going on. What we got next, Davey?
Next up, we got 803 Music with Brett.
That's my girl, Vanessa.
All right, let's take a listen right now on the B Club Podcast. Keep it, cut it. Let's get it. Let's go. Oh, this shit sounds sexy here.
The Beat Club. The Beat Club. The Beat Club.
All right, B Club, let's talk about this one. You guys let us know how you feel in the comments. Would you keep it? Would you cut it? We'll go around the room and see what's good. Let's start with J Hatch, man. What's the word?
Man, got some fire on here today, man. Like, and some different fire too. Like, I know Vanessa and I know Brett from Atlanta. They do a lot of my creative sessions down there. I'm gonna keep it. Reason why is because, you know, what I was saying earlier about records being linear, but then not having that build up. These guys did that. They created like a nice hook pocket. The beat was catchy. I could definitely hear like an R&B artist, maybe a rapper on it too, just a feature on it. And it's a vibe, man. If you can keep my attention and keep my head bopping a little bit, man, I'm with it. So I'm going to say I'm going to keep it. I know as somebody who looks for records that that's a record, not just a beat. So I'm going to keep it.
All right. Avi, what's the word, bro?
Easy keep. I don't really have any feedback for it, man. Easy.
Well, I'm going to say this, man. I always keep beats if I belly roll. It is belly roll certified. We definitely got like 4 or 5 good belly rolls in. So we're just going to throw it out there.
Keep it.
Avi, man, let's wrap up this folder. Who we got next?
This is a new person. Next up, we got Westover.
Westerford, yeah.
Westover?
North Carolina.
Yeah. Okay. And this is called Good Times.
All right, we're going to take a listen right now on the B Club Podcast. Keep it or cut it. Let's get it. Let's go.
The Beat Club. The Beat Club. The Beat Club.
All right, B Club, let's talk about this one. You can tell us in the comments. Would you keep it? Would you cut it? I'm going to go around the room and see what's good. Avi, what's the word?
I want to know what's in the fucking water in North Carolina.
Talk about it.
I don't get it. What are y'all drinking out there that produces all this fucking fire? We need some of that. Keep.
J Hatch.
Yeah, the kid is nuts, man. He actually did some events with me back in the day and kind of reconnected recently, some of these online events.
Mm-hmm.
He's fire, man. I definitely see the growth, development. I love his snare choice. I love the diversity in percussion that he uses. I would say that little crash goes a little too long though, because it kind of almost like bleeds into the woodblock snare, whatever other snare he's using.
Mm-hmm.
I would just pare back on that a little bit and make that woodblock snare a little more like enunciated, so it hits just a little bit harder, so it has a little more swing to it as opposed to just that crash and come in. You know what I'm saying? So just gotta be careful with stuff like that. But I love that little musical part. I love how he switched up the transition of the sequence in the beat in the second part of the verse. Fire, bro. Keep it.
I'm just gonna say it was a vibe. I haven't stopped dancing. definitely. And I got one belly roll in. It wasn't even supposed to happen. Like all that shit, it just worked. It just absolutely worked. My first time hearing this producer, and I look forward to hearing more from this producer. So just gonna throw it out there, man. Sounds like it's gonna be another.
Man said they got frack chemicals in the water because they got fracking down in North Carolina. That's what they said.
Quick question, Jay Hatchman. What was your rap name? I didn't ask you.
Man, my rap name was Buku Bucks. Bukubuks. It just, you know why? Because it was like a reciprocal at the time because I was broke as fuck. And, you know, back then sampling was super big. So J. Rue the Damager said something about, I'm making Buku Bucks. So we took that little piece out and we used that as like my little tag intro when I would come out and perform and shit like that. So, yeah, man, good times, man. It feels like a fucking lifetime ago. And I still write. I don't write raps really, but I write books and I co-write with my writer a little bit. So, you know, I'm just blessed to have the opportunity to work with some of the greatest, you know, music makers of all time. You know what I'm saying? And not even knowing it and having like that front row view to, you know, the early days of hip hop, man. It's a blessing, man.
You don't have like a CD cover with you on like the money phone, like the Buku Bucks, like mixtape never dropped?
I got it. I'm gonna tell you one thing, and I'm not gonna say anything else. There's a song online that I cannot get off the internet because I don't have the it's not in the Buku Bucks though. You got to look for it otherwise. But I have a song online that I still can't get off. If you can find that somehow, some way,
I'll
tell you the whole story. Not today, but you know, it was just funny because, you know, back then, like, there was really not a lot of there wasn't anything really online. So there was like this one site and you were able to upload some music to it and whatnot. And that's tried it out. You know what I'm saying? Now I can't get it down because I don't have that email anymore and they won't let me take it down. I'm like, bro, it's still me. 20 years later, look, I need to put the same jersey on, same hat on backwards, same baggy ass jeans. Like, I'm looking like fucking crisscrossing this bitch with my clothes on right though.
Oh shit. Well, I just want to put this out there for everybody that doesn't know. AV also used to rap as well. Okay. AV rapped a couple, but I heard one song. I've never heard it again. But AV had like 9 bodies on the record. Bodied like 9 people on the record. He was definitely a gangster on the record. So I'm glad you changed and turned things around, AV, man. Let me clap up for AV.
That's crazy.
No more gangsters. Man. Good shit, AV, for turning your life around, bro.
You got some good beats, though. I'll tell you that. You was playing some beats the other day at the event. You got some fire.
Yo, I'm gonna say with Jay Hatch on it. AV be sleeping on himself. And this goes to all the producers out there fucking sleeping on yourself. Stop sleeping on yourself because he's fire. And I say this, if you're fire and you're sleeping on yourself, surround yourself with people that know you're fire and gonna push you further because he's fire. AV's sitting on beats, bro. And he's like, I might need an artist on him or whatever. He might need to come to your event and get a hook or something on it because he's got some West Coast fire, fam. But
we'll get to work on that for sure.
Let's see what's good. But let's get another beat in there, man. I feel like Jay Hatch has got like we got like 6 in a row. I think 3 weeks ago, we went like 10 in a row.
Okay.
I don't. We might break a record. I'll put it out there. Boulder 2, AV. What's popping? I think you're on mute, bro. I can't hear
you.
Yeah, I am. Shit. Next up, we got Algorithm C. What's this called? I think it's French Lavender.
Oh, that's some sexy shit. All right, cool. Gonna take a listen right now to B Club Podcast. Keep it, cut it. Let's get it. Let's go.
Algorithm C.
Yo.
All right, B Club, let's talk about this one. Let us know how you feel in the comments. Would you keep it? Would you cut it? Go around the room and see what's good. Jay Hatch, what's the word?
Now, see, there's a difference between that record and the jazzy record we heard before. A lot of the stuff that was playing just now on Algorithm C's record was very random. and not specifically placed properly to me. It was definitely a vibe, but I feel like sound selection wise, like that snare was not hitting. The melody was kind of interrupted in places by those random sounds. And unfortunately for me, this one, I'm going to have to cut.
All right. Avi, what's the word?
I agree with RC, man. I wish them drums hit harder because I mean, I don't know if Algorithm C works with artists like that. I think he's more of just like a beat tape producer. I could be mistaken, excuse me, but he likes to experiment. This shit was a good vibe, but them drums, man, I gotta feel the shit in my gut when I'm hearing some shit. If I don't make the stank face, then I don't know, man.
And there was obviously no belly rolls on that one.
Definitely not.
Definitely no belly rolls. So that's a cut it, bro.
That's a cut it for me, but still a good vibe though. Like something about it I like.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm not the bass police. I'm not good with bass police, but I felt as though whatever bass that was present, I felt like it could have been lifted a little bit more in the mix. I could have felt a little bit more. It was low. I think I still can't. I feel like I need more bass. If the drums ain't knocking, I need more bass. I need more low end. And because I didn't get that kind of took it from me. I'm all about like, I definitely am into like the random sounds as well, but the bass needed to be that glue. And I'm not digging the way the bass is playing right now. So I'm gonna cut it.
And honestly, too, just the mix alone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I think sometimes it's really about like I'll tell people every day like a good beat with a bad mix will lose to a bad beat with a good mix any given day. It's just something about the way a record hits. It just kind of provokes an emotion within you. That shit don't hit, those snares don't slap. It could be a dope beat, could be a dope melody, just won't do anything for you. You know what I mean?
Did I just set us up, man? We had 6 in a row, but I don't think this one is making it, bro.
It's all your fault, Loops. Yeah, wow. It's definitely not. It's not a keeper for me.
Cut it.
That cut it hit different.
It's all good.
That cut it hit different. Damn, man. AV, man, let's just redeem ourselves before we go into the next question. I'm not even gonna do that to J Hatch. We got to make sure that we can't segue.
I'm part of the problem. I'm the one who said cut it too. Don't. It's all good.
It's cool. We're not the problem. That producer sending that beat was the problem. Wow. We got to send more fire. All I'm gonna say, don't get in your feelings, get in your bag. It was still a vibe, but you stopped the streak, bro.
We got a high bar now. I mean, the first 6 beats were crazy fire, man. So anything lower than that, you know what I'm saying?
AV, man, where's the fire? Are we skipping over people?
Nah. I like this name. Next up, we got Anna How to Beat Speaker, and this is called Boom Chakra Laka.
My G, I love it. All right, cool. Let's take a listen to it right now on the Beat Club Podcast. Keep it a cut. Let's get it. Let's go. All right, B Club, let's talk about this one. You guys let us know how you feel. Would you keep it? Would you cut it? Let us know in the comments. Go around the room and see what's good. AV, man, what's the word with this one?
I'm going to cut this one because I'm going to be the bass police, man. I think it was like maybe the 8th note that was played in that bass line was off.
Damn, you.
I feel like, yeah, I was. I was counting on my fingers. But overall, the melody was dope, though. I like the melody and like aura of the beat, but bass line's off, so can't keep it.
All right. J Hatch, what's the word?
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to cut it too. Only reason why is I just felt like it wasn't like it didn't like. I mean, it definitely was a head nodder, but there was no like no emotion involved for me. It was just kind of like more like a loop. You know what I'm saying? Like if there would have been some changes somewhere or a dynamic drop or something to reset my ears, like when you listen to a beat like that for so long, it kind of gets a little repetitive, I feel. But I love the snare. I think that would be an amazing record for like film and TV, you know, like a behind like, you know, some sort of scene or something like, and producers don't sleep on film and TV. There's more money in that right now than there is in fucking rappers. So if you got friends or you know anybody in that licensing space, go mess with them. Make sure you go to LinkedIn and set up in a real account. That's where those people live. You want to get licensing placements? Go on LinkedIn. Trust me when I tell you that.
Gems.
I just got a really good placement myself for one of my writers. So, you know, just heed the word. LinkedIn. Licensing, LinkedIn. But I'm gonna have to cut that one. But I love the drums though. Drums are strong.
All right, cool. So wait, that was 2 cut it's?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I had to count and shit. Anahata, man, I felt like this was definitely dope. I was vibing the whole entire time. I thought it was cool, and it plays to the Anahata sound. Now, me, you know, I'm not the bass police. That's just not my forte. So I was rocking, man. So based off of who you are, the music you make, and how I was rocking, I'm gonna keep it. But you already know they cut it.
Mm-hmm. I could be wrong, but it sounded like it was off. It was just that one note.
Will J Hatch adopt me?
Serious right there.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a different type of question.
Not sure how to respond, but
yeah, cool.
I look for the kids right now. Appreciate it though.
Have you ever tried to make a beat before?
You know what? When I was doing the rap thing, I would bring in a lot of my own sounds. Big shout out to my man Terazilla. You know, he was my business partner at the time and one of my producers. I would bring in like the you know the drum sample or the bass sample or the sample itself. Or so I would say these are 4 components I want. You know, go ahead and make a beat for me. But I never physically sat there and tried to actually. I mean, I tried, but it wasn't like to actually make the beat. It was just mess around in different programs. But that's one thing I want to do someday. You know, I feel like eventually I will be more creative when I graduate from certain levels of my life. Right now, I'm good. No beat making for me. Beat placing for me. No beat making.
Who is the hardest person to pitch a record to? Like, is there like a person that is like super picky?
Yeah, I mean, there's people that won't even listen. You know, everybody would love to get a record with Jay-Z or Drake or Kendrick Lamar, but you gotta understand, like, these guys have their own teams. Like, if it's not broken, they're not gonna try to fix it. Like, Jay's not listening to new producers. However, if you somehow befriend Ty or you can get in the studio Young Guru and they like a record, they might play it for Jay. If you're cool with Boy Wonder or Vinyls or, you know, 40 or, you know, Mike Zombie, maybe, you know, they might like a record, they might collaborate with you, then maybe you can get a record to, you know, to Drake. So it's just there's a game to be played in some cases. That's why we say relationships are the new currency. It gets you into places, it gets you that private pass. If you can build a real relationship and be who you are, but at the same time, your talent should be the plus that you're bringing along. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's difficult. You know, everybody wants something different. Like when I get hit up by 50 or his people, they want just beats. And I placed 4 records with 50. So over the years, you know what I'm saying? Ross, he wants beats with hooks. You know, most A&Rs want hooks. It's just really about knowing who the people are, what they want, and trying to come as close, but also having the notion to know where these people are in their life and hopefully find the right record, not beat, for them. You know what I'm saying? So they hear it and they're like, oh, shit. Yeah, let me at least record this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let me at least and if they record it, chances of them actually, you know, buying it or placing it is a lot greater than if you just bring it into a meeting and they like it, or you bring it to the A&R and they like it. It's really about getting with the artist, the manager, getting in their feeling, and hopefully getting in the vibe and cut the record.
So my question is, let's say I make a beat, I have my homie do a hook on it, and we send it over. Is this something where the hook is more used as like a reference or scratch vocals, or is it something where they may actually use the hook?
It's possible. It's happened. I mean, my intention for my writer, Eli Groves, is that we get on, you know, a record that they want to keep him on. He has an amazing voice. He's a young dude. He's a great performer, and he's an artist too. But, you know, we have a balanced focus between his artistry and his songwriting. So, you know, he's writing with Cool and Dre and S1 and Super Mario, but then we're also in the studio, brand new guys, and himself working on his own EP. So it's very balance driven. But if I get a record Like we had an opportunity last year to G-Eazy like one of our records, and they wanted to keep him on the record.
Mhm.
And I was like, Jesus, if this happens, this is like the immediate like, let's get an EP out that same week the record drops. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's gonna be asking, who's this kid? Even if he just wrote it, you know, that's my guide. That's my segue to a potential pub deal, or my potential segue to an artist deal and a pub deal or a label deal for me. So you got to know how to like be prepared for all these opportunities, but there's a balance, and you got to hope that they keep the writer on there. Sometimes the writer is not really an artist or doesn't want to be.
Yeah.
So they'll find somebody to reference it, or you might even pitch it with the idea having somebody sing it similarly to somebody who they might have a relationship with, or, you know, like, hey, Cardi, this is a record with, you know, Danny Lee, or you have somebody sound like Danny Lee, or you have somebody sound like Miguel, or whoever the case may be. That's how you pitch the record.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been talking about relationships between people this whole time. What advice would you give to an introverted bedroom producer on how to, I guess, be confident or be able to get into a room with, like, say, I don't know, Cardo got wings or some shit?
I think right now, since we're kind of all in the same playing field, you know, nobody's really able to get out too much or travel too much.
Well, besides that, yeah.
Yeah, but what I mean is, it's the perfect time for an introvert, because if you could master the art of short and sweet DMs and really politicking via engaging with people online, like if you want to talk to these people, follow these people, like their pictures, don't be stalkish about it, but, you know, shoot a comment out. Yo, that joint you did with Currency was crazy, bro. It's like motivated me. And then you like them, and then you know, eventually they might follow you. They might see that you're cool. They might listen to your beat one day and be like, yo, that shit was pretty fire on your page. Can you send me some drum sounds or whatever? So anything can happen. I think now is the time for introverts specifically, who don't really like to be out and about talking face to face. They just have to master the art of the short and sweet email and DM. I have a mentor program that I do. And I have 6 different kids that I mentee, and a lot of them are dope producers, but don't know how to like actually react or you know, talk to different people online. So one of the things I told them, I said, go to my followers list, who I follow, set up a spreadsheet, put everybody's name, IG, and if they give an email address, put it on there. If they don't, put no email, and then eventually send an email, like a canned email, but personalize it to everybody who has an email, and everybody who doesn't, you send them a DM saying, I'd like to be able to send you some music. My name is so-and-so. Keep it short and fucking sweet. Don't send them no spam links. Don't send them no fucking videos in their DMs. Just short and sweet. Then make sure you follow up 7 to 10 days later. All these things are, man, people think they're impossible, but I could tell you so many times, even me, young, like coming up in the game, I just got out of my own way and said, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to reach out to somebody. Luckily, I'm a little more extroverted, if that's the word. I talk to people. I network with people. I know how to, you know, interact with people. But eventually there comes a time where somebody's at a level that maybe you can't get to. So if you're trying to do a record with Travis Scott, like, DMing Travis Scott is not going to get you anywhere close to him. But if you know his A&R Sycamore, or you know his manager, or his engineer, or his blunt roller, or his fucking girl, or his brother, these are the people that you reach out to, because they want to be rock stars too. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, I know you work with Travis. I know probably everybody's hitting you up, but I would love to be able to send you a beat. You know, if anything comes out of it, you know, I would obviously cut you in. Let me know what you think. If it's whack, just whatever.
Yeah.
So many relationships get built like that, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah, we actually learned something from a young bull that came on our show. We did in December. We did all producers that were under the age of 18 on our show. Adam came up to our show. I think it was Ja the God who mentioned that he would go on Instagram and see the artist standing next to somebody who's in the photo with them. He would go and follow that person and see, like, okay, this person has 30,000 followers. Maybe I can talk to them because at least they know Travis Scott or they know this person, and just kind of create that bridge and that trail. And I just thought that was phenomenal to hear it from a kid. Like, all the old heads was like, oh shit, like I didn't know that, you know what I mean? So the fact to hear this as well, it's just really exercising the networking capabilities of these shits right here called cell phones. So that's thank you very much. We're gonna drop one of those.
The Beat Club.
We have to. Avi,
what up?
Fire. Where's the fire?
We
need some fire. I don't know what's up with this folder right here. This folder right here, homie. I don't know. Folder 1 was fire, but this it's up to you. We can jump around if you want to.
Might as well go in order.
Ah, you're so kind.
All right, next up we got Beats Meditated, and this is called Of Love.
Of Love. Oh, from Texas, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. We're gonna take a listen to it right now. The Beat Club podcast. Keep it or cut it. Let's get it. Let's go.
The Beat Club. The Beat Club.
All right, Beat Club. Let's talk about this one. You guys let us know how you feel in the comments. Would you keep it? Would you cut it? I'm gonna go around the room and see what's good. Avi, what's popping?
He said it sounded like some Adventure Time shit. Oh man. Yeah, I gotta cut this one. I feel like I hear the idea and vibe, but it's too all over the place. Like I mean, obviously it could still get placed somewhere, probably like on TV or a commercial or something. But yeah, I'm just gonna cut this one. I wasn't really vibing with it.
I'm gonna say I've been a Kid Cudi fan for a long time, and I feel like when I first heard this, I thought Cudi, but then once I heard like that lead synth or whatever, that just took that thought out my mind. Remove that, and you can revisit this and do something with it, especially the beginning portion of it. But I just heard Cudi. I didn't hear anybody else. I hear the humming and everything, and it just works. But it was definitely a vibe. I say all that to say I like Cudi, but I am not a fan of this beat. So I'm gonna cut it, but I do hear Cudi. J Hatch, what's the word?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of elements in there that actually have potential. Like, you know, there's that underlying like sound and melody that sounds really good. That the end build was amazing, but it's a structure issue. You know, like he gave us all this stuff up front and then pared it back when it should have been like giving us something minimal to build us up and get our ear, and then kind of like giving us the build up into like whatever the hook was, whatever. Like I understand the Cudi thing after you said it, but I was actually thinking Posty a little bit at the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, just because that vibe, airiness, that very the aesthetics of it was very like Post Malone-ish, but it had its moments. It just didn't have the proper structure, and structure is everything when you're pitching a record, because it's different when you're in the studio and you're playing these ideas and you can say, hey, like listen, right here you could do this and you can kind of pitch it. But when you're just playing it, it's got to make an immediate connection with somebody. And after 15 seconds, it didn't. And somebody said in here like there was too many highs in there. There was all highs. Like he came in super hot. So I gotta cut it, but I definitely think structured the right way, layered the right way, built the right way, that could be a record that a pop artist / urban pop artist can be, that can make a bigger record into. It also needed just some more changes and builds where you could actually, okay, this is the hook, this is the melody, this is the bridge, this is the drop, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of that stuff wasn't even included in there.
So we're gonna throw it out there.
Cut it.
Damn.
Cut it's hit different. Cut it's fucking hit different.
Went from 6 in a row to 3 in a row now.
It's all bad. It's all bad. J Hatch, I have a question. Based off of all the information that you know now, what information would you provide yourself or give yourself to excel to the little person or the younger you before they got into the industry? What gem would you have passed down to your younger self based off the information you have now?
I would probably tell myself not to spend as much money as I did. You know, because there's a perceived notion that you know it takes money to make money in this music industry, which in some cases is correct, but spending that money on the right thing, I think, is probably a better way to say it, because You know, I used to literally, like, every showcase, every event I would go, anytime I left my house to go somewhere musically, I bought a new outfit. I bought new sneakers. I bought the dopest throwback jersey. I bought, you know, this is going back years. I'm spending like $200 to $300 every time I leave the fucking house.
Buku bucks, baby.
Yeah, then we're going to the club. You know, we're going to an event. You know, I wasn't popping bottles, but I was buying drinks for everybody, and I was trying to be like, at the time, somebody who I wasn't, because I thought that's who I had to be that somebody. You know what I'm saying? So I would say probably just investing my money a little bit differently, and also understanding how important bartering is. You know, I learned as I tailed out of having all that money, I started realizing the power in relationships. I was spending like $2,500 to get a contract drawn up. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, my attorney that I eventually ended up working with, this guy Bob Celestin, who currently was representing XXXTentacion and Pop Smoke, all these unfortunate artists that just passed away. He's one of my mentors, and he always taught me, he was like, listen, if you could bring value to me, he's like, I can bring value to you. And it doesn't make a difference who you are, how big your name is, as long as your value equals up to something that I can bring, let's do it. So he had these artists, and he was like, yo, I need them to be in every show. I need them to be on every blog. I need them to be on every mixtape. And I said, okay, I need some management contracts drawn up. I need some advice. I need some meetings. It was good. Yeah. So we literally sat there, drew up a little one-sheeter, bullet points. I'm going to do this. You're going to do this. And we didn't charge each other $1. So I get these kids on 100 mixtapes. I'm putting them in, you know, allhiphop.com, hiphop100.com. They're doing all my shows. I'm getting them on radio shows. Meanwhile, he's getting me in meetings that I couldn't get at the time by myself. My name, I wasn't there, but he believed enough in me, and he saw enough in me that I would represent him properly if he did send me up with. And I have relationships to this day because of that. And I saved 20 to 50 grand by dealing with him over those situations. And then I would also bring him business. You know what I'm saying? I'd bring him clients. So then he might, you know, bring me a client. You know what I'm saying? So it worked out good. And then now more than ever, I feel like you don't have to spend as much money as you needed to back then to be successful. You know, you could download a fucking Make a Beat app on your phone. You could download a vocal plugin. You could make a beat, rap to the beat, sing to the beat, upload the DistroKid, put it on your SoundCloud, your YouTube, get it on all DSPs. All this shit could happen in a fucking hour for free. When you had to spend 10 grand in the back of the day to buy a board for mixing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Those days are gone. So it's just, man, it's just buku bucks, man. It was a fun time.
I want to get your opinion on this as well. So being that there's just I want to say a substantial amount of platforms that producers can take advantage of, what are some that you recommend when it comes to a producer or a beat maker that just wants to get in the game, you know, like a BeatStars or like what platforms would you put out there or recommend to someone that wants to know what should I do?
I mean, honestly, BeatStars right now, I mean, I've known Abe for since before they started BeatStars. I've seen their elevation and what they're doing right now with the distribution, the licensing, the publishing, how much money they've paid out. Like, these guys are about to change the game. And honestly, you know, I don't know if you know, but I left my own company, istandard, back in March. You know, it was my company. I gave my business partner my half. I just felt like I needed a change. I needed, you know, but that's kind of where we were going, or we wanted to go. Abe just had an amazing team. He's also, I believe, a developer and a, you know, coder. So he kind of already had his vision of what he wanted. And I really give it up to those guys because they're exactly where they need to be to develop the next level of talent to do amazing things. Now, on my end, you know, I always look at platforms that allow the creator to be themselves, but also allow them to have some sort of learning experience or benefit that could take them from where they are and give them a step up because of their consistency, how hard they work. Like, there's got to be some sort of, like, can't just everybody get on a platform and everybody's successful.
Right.
There's got to be work. There's got to be some sort of something that gives you the ability to grow and develop into your own brand. And I think BeatStars is probably the first real platform that has allowed producers across the board to do so. You know, I got a lot of things on my own that I'm working towards as well with my new brands. I don't want to talk too much about that, but I would say BeatStars, Airbit is definitely dope. They're more on the other side of the world in Europe. You know, DistroKid, Song Trader, Song Trust. all these these companies that provide even like sync licensing opportunities, like Song Trader, DistroKid's a distribution company, but they also allow for licensing as well. And off the top, that's probably the few I would say.
Fire. Thank you for that.
Oh yeah, you know what? Actually, the fingers just put it in here. Watch out for Timberland's Beat Club. I happen to know people on the team, and I'll tell you, this might change the game. Might change the game.
Might change the game.
I mean, and also too, another shameless plug, tracklib.com.
Yeah.
I work closely with Tracklib. They've been sponsoring my events since they started. And Tracklib is just an online platform where you could actually sample real records and claim the sample and clear the sample for pennies on the dollar on the actual site and in minutes. So, Middle Child, the horns came from a Tracklib sample. Major 7 found the intro to Holy Grail for DJ Khaled, the Holy Mountain record actually on there. Street Runner got a record off of there for a record he did on a funeral with Lil Wayne. And most recently on a deluxe version of Currency and Fuse's Spring Cleaning, there'll be another record with a Tracklib sample in it as well. So, yeah, we're trying to build that platform up. Splice Sounds, you guys already know about those too. So, yeah.
Fire. Thank you for that. Just to kind of piggyback that, I also want to put out there, we're going to plug something. We're also collaborating with LFOD Radio out here to get producers to be part of the Alumni Cyphers. Their 6th year of doing the Alumni Cypher series. I don't know, Avi, was it the last year or the year before that First Official took like all 4 weeks of the Cypher or some shit? He demolished the Cypher. So
yeah.
So beatclubpodcast.com. You have until Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to upload your beats. You can upload as many as possible. We select the beats, we send them over to LFOD, and the MCs get to pick it out. It is free. It's free promotion and all that good shit. So please take those shots, put it in a folder, make some shit happen, and see what's good. They record everything, they put everything out there, and you have all these artists that don't know who the hell you are now know who you are. So beatclubpodcast.com, Tuesday by 10 p.m. Upload today. So yeah, opportunities. AV, man, we got a couple more that we can put in there, man. Do you want to jump around? Because we've kind of been on a decline, and I want to end on a happy note.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump around.
Because if we don't have like if there's 3 more cut-its, we gotta ask like Buku Bucks to drop some bars before we like go or some shit.
Oh boy,
I know you got some, but all right, Avi.
I'm gonna go with what is it? Don Cody got slaps.
He's fine.
Don Cody got slaps.
Yeah, I've been hearing about him.
What's the name of the beat?
It's called Blinding Lights.
All right, cool. We're going to take a listen to it right now on the Beat Club podcast. Keep it a cut it. Let's get it. Let's go.
The Beat Club. The Beat Club. The Beat Club.
All right, Beat Club, let's talk about this one. You guys let us know how you feel in the comments. Would you keep it? Would you cut it? Go around the room and see what's good. Jay Hatch, what's the word?
Man, I saw AV had the stink face on. I already knew what he was gonna say. So listen, man, that was fire. I like Don Cody because he's very like theatrical in how he produces records. Like there's layers, he gives you that knock. He gives you new sounds. The sample choices are always good. I'm definitely gonna keep it. I would just say like any producers that produce those kind of records where they're very like sample driven and very like epic in size, is just to know where to find the pocket for the artist. Because it's great to make all these beats. Like, it's great to, oh shit, that beat is crazy. It slaps. It's hard as fuck. But you got to eventually, you got to remember 50% of that beat somebody else has got to touch. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't make 100% of the record. You got to make your side of the record, let an artist come in and complete that record. That's why it's called a record. You know what I'm saying? It's two people on it. It's you as a writer, rapper, / whatever, and it's an artist. Might be more than two people, but when you're the producer, you can't make more than 50% of the record. It's just not, it's not possible.
You're gonna keep that? Okay. AV man, stink face. I mean, you keeping it?
Yeah. You already know.
Any feedback?
Nah.
All right, that's what it is. People are throwing the fires, the keeps. Yeah, they fucking with it as well, man. I'm good with it as well, so I'm just gonna throw it out there. Keep it. Oh, that sounds so much better. If you can get like one more, just one more.
All right.
Let me see. I'm even checking the other folder. I'm saying.
Well, no, hold on. Let me see.
Yeah, I'm trying to see.
I see somebody. I want to get somebody who's on right now.
All right.
I know D-Dot sent some shit in. He's in there. He's on. Big Shot, he sending anything?
Let's see.
I don't see.
Big Shot. He won my last 7-hour producer marathon. Detroit in the building.
Yeah, I don't see anything from them.
We would have to like download it or something. We can go with the one out the like any of them out the folder.
I do see PJ Cats in the folder. I mean, on live right now. So let's give him some feedback. This is called.
Maybe I'll adopt him after I hear his beats.
Is that folder 3 or folder 2? That's folder 2.
Folder
right?
2. Yeah.
I see.
And this is called "Say It's So."
Always from New York. All right, we're gonna take a listen right now on the B Club Podcast. Keep it a cut it. Let's get it. Let's go.
The Beat Club.
All right, B Club, let's talk about this one. You guys let us know how you feel in the comments. Would you keep it? Would you cut it? Did you belly roll? Let us know. I'm gonna go around the room and see what's good. AV man, what's popping? Your
adoption is granted, bro. That shit was dope. You know what? I'm gonna say beat of the week.
Ooh.
Okay.
I wouldn't disagree with that. Out of what we heard today, I mean, that's not bad. That's not bad. All right.
I'm saying.
Okay.
J Hatch, what's the word?
I fuck with it, man. I'm real big on that, like that 90s, R&B vibe. Like it's kind of give me like Genuine vibes, Pony vibes.
Pony's my stripping song, man. I just want to put that out there to the world. I'm putting it out there.
It's your belly roll stripping song.
My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I fuck with it. I think there's definitely some things in it that probably could have been a little more elevated in terms of just the structure of it. But I just love the vibe. It feels easy to write to. Like I can hear like Ty Dolla $ign on there. I hear like somebody who does those kind of throwback vibes. Chris Brown, maybe. Sure, I fuck with it.
All right, so all right, man. So I'm gonna say keep it as well, man. Like I said, belly roll was there. We good. It was lit.
I like it, but I'm gonna go AV. I'm gonna say my beat of the week choice if I had a choice.
Do it.
Would be that jazzy vibe we heard earlier.
So I know exactly. Wait, I think I know what he's talking about. A folder. Is that folder 1?
I think it was like one of the last. I said the Griselda. We were all. It was like a jazzy vibe, and it was real, just kind of same shit going through, but it just had its crazy vibe.
I think it was the Tony chopper. I have to see because we know what we do. Hold on, let me just get past this first.
Yeah.
What I'll say, man, is you guys kept it, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it as well. We're gonna throw it out there. Keep it. Thank you very much. So here's the deal. I gotta find that beat that J Hatch just talked about. I think it was Tony chopper. Nah, was it?
I think it was the fourth beat you played, third or fourth beat you played.
Nah, it wasn't. It wasn't that. What was it? He said, nah, what was it? Third or fourth beat was Tony chopper. That's the one we couldn't pronounce. And Westerfer wasn't Westerfer. Or was it Tony chopper? Don't sound like any of those, right?
That one?
That wasn't it?
That was it? Let's play. Did that sound like it was it?
I don't know, man. It had like that a horn. It had like that horn in it.
Oh.
I'm look back on the comments to see if anybody really.
Let's see. Was it?
Yeah, 803 said it was the one right before her. That
Right
was
before
Tony chopper. Yeah, that was Tony chopper.
So you sticking with that pick, J Hatch?
Let me a little. Yeah.
You sticking with that?
That's me. That's just my choice.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do, and what we do on the show. If there's more than one beat of the week, we battle them to make a decision on who is the beat of the week.
You don't have a choice?
Nah, I'm just doing my part. I like to watch. I don't have a choice right now.
All right.
So this is what we're gonna do, man. So J Hatch picked beat of the week, and AV picked beat of the week. So it's only right that we battle the two and decide which one is actually beat of the week. So we're gonna start off with J Hatch's pick first, and this was Tony chopper from New Hampshire with said we can't pronounce it, bruh. But yeah, we're gonna take a listen to it right now. Let's get it. Let's go.
To look this shit up.
The Beat Club.
Battle that with AV's pick, which was from New York, right? PJ Katz.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go. The Beat Club. All right, so we have a decision to make. I'm gonna go around the room. You guys can let us know what you think online right now. So J Hatch, are you sticking with that? You sticking with your pick after hearing both?
Oh man, it's tough because they're both fire. Like it's just crazy because let's put it this way. I feel like Tony's beat is like three beats in one. It's got like all three of the first sections are almost all different beats or different sounds that create this beat. PJ sounds more like a record from front to back because it's got a consistent vibe to it. The sound quality's there. It's a little bit, it's just a little bit more prominent, I'd say. So I'm gonna switch over and say PJ. But the other record, and actually PJ said it. It reminded him a little bit of Large Professor, and that's one of that is my favorite producer, Large Professor. So yeah, okay, PJ, you're getting close to that. PJ's getting closer to being adopted. We might have to have a meeting.
Avi, you sticking with your pick?
Hell yeah. J Hatch got bodied there.
Damn. Let's go. So yeah, man, it sounds like that is going to be our beat of the week, man. So let's go clap it up for that, man. Good shit. So that means we'll actually be battling your beat on First Sunday, which is our next show, where we're going to take all our beat of the weeks from this month and battle them to see who we're going to give a free sound pack. So thank you for that. You know what we're going to do is J Hatch, is there anything else that you want to say to the people? Just kind of wrap up the show. Any like drop your social network, anything they need to look out for, plug the book again. Just do your thing while I pull up this beat of the week.
Yeah, definitely, man. First of all, I appreciate you guys for having me, man. I've been knowing about you guys for a while, and it's good to be invited to the platform to hear some new people and hear some other people get better at what they do too. And what you guys do, I applaud. Y'all been doing your thing for a while, and it's great to see people consistently working better and harder. Man, I just got a lot going on, man. Just all I would say is just follow me at Mogulstatus on all my platforms, and just keep an eye out for the different events I have coming up. The online ones, the ones that we'll be doing the creative sessions. Like I said, we're dropping the video tomorrow that AV shot. So you'll be able to see kind of like a little view of what we do in the creative sessions. You can find my book, How I Left My Job and Made It in the Music Industry, on all major retailers, Target, Barnes & Nobles, Book Baby, etc., etc. And yeah, man, I'm also looking for some new female writers. So if anybody's got somebody they think is super dope that I don't know about already, hit me via DM and let me know who you're working with and what they sound like.
Will do. All right. Avi, man, anything else that you want to say, bro?
Nah, this shit was dope. Thank you for bringing your crowd to us, man. So we're gonna do the same when you come back here. I don't know if you got some time. I'm just throw this out here right now. Like a little bit after, let's talk on the stream.
Yeah, we'll kick everybody out.
Yeah. But yeah, this shit's dope, man. I love doing this podcast. Loops, thank you, Marion. You on a fucking beach somewhere, and I'm in a hot ass room.
What a fan.
I hate you. Thank y'all for tuning in, listening. Follow us, man. Follow me individually, Loops individually. Follow the Brand Beat Club podcast, the Stew Showcase. We got some shit coming for y'all soon.
Yo, Loops, I just figured it out. AV looks like he's sitting in the walk-in
to a what?
It's Sunday, man.
Like, you know, like when you walk into like a church, there's that little like intro area.
Yeah.
Look at the back of the seats over here. Look at the
look.
The dude.
The window looks like shit. You got like an organ to the left of him. Like, come on, man.
Right here? Yeah, this is the organ right here.
So I guess I'll just say this, man. I want to thank everybody for watching us on Facebook and YouTube. I say if you're on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button, because we just do this for the culture, and we just need all the subscribers that fuck with us, fuck with the culture, to continue to fuck with the culture. So make sure you hit the subscribe button on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, hit the like button. Also hit the share button on the video. If your beat got played today, share it. And I just had a conversation with another producer about this. You got played today. There is no reason why you don't take this YouTube footage, take the clip of your beat and put it on your Instagram account or further promote yourself. This is free content right here that you did not have to create. So please maximize your efforts by just moving it forward and doing something else with it. So I look forward to all of us being on your social network very, very soon. So shout out to all the producers that set fire today. On top of that, now I've never met J Hatch before, but I want to say it was an absolute pleasure to meet you, bro. And honestly, we've been out here. We did something called the Stew Showcase out here for quite some time. And it was always those things where people were like, are you guys like istandard? And we're like, nah, istandard has their own thing. The Stew has their own thing. But honestly, with all those brands in place, they did something for the culture. And I just want to say thank you for contributing to the culture, not stripping the culture, but adding to the culture and just being a dope fucking individual in the process. Because we always know that the music industry can definitely change who the fuck you are if you're not like strong and sound, my dude. So thank you so much. And on top of that, thank you for the gems. And we definitely look forward to August 29th in Boston, right?
29th, yes.
Boom.
Yep.
And then last but not least, LFOD, B Club Podcast. Deadline is Tuesday. Upload your beats. MP3s or waves are accepted this time. Upload those beats. Upload as many as possible, and you could get heard. So thank you guys very, very much. And because I can say it on the radio, I'm going to say it right now.
Shit. We out.